Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. So I'm on my lunch break and I'm going to do this very quick live stream talking about Cardi B. Now I noticed that people are using this hashtag SurvivingCardiB. So I'm going to provide some background information and then I'm going to provide my commentary. So basically, Cardi B did a live stream, I guess, on Instagram a few years ago. I think it was like 3 years ago, before she got all popular and before her career took off. And she was basically talking about what she had to do to survive. As many people know, at one point she was a stripper. And in this live stream, she basically talked about how, as a stripper, people would want to have sex with her. And she would basically say, yeah, let's go to the hotel. And then when she would get with these guys, she would drug them and rob them. And, a lot of people are making a big deal about this, and they're basically comparing her to R. Kelly, by using the hashtag surviving Cardi B. And I've seen a lot of silly memes online about this whole situation. And I saw a couple of videos on YouTube talking about this situation. So I want to just share my quick thoughts about this. But before I do that, I just want to add like a statement that Cardi B put out. She put out a statement on Instagram trying to explain the situation. And she was basically saying that she did what she had to do to survive at that particular time. She also talked about how many other rappers talk about what they do to survive. And in fact, they glorify it in their music. They glorify murdering people and stuff like that. And she basically said she's not a perfect person. And she says that she never glorified doing things like that in her music. She said that she's not proud of what she did, and she said, I feel a responsibility not to glorify it. She said that at that particular time in her life, she had very limited options, and she talked about how she was blessed to have been able to rise from that, but so many women have not been able to rise from it. And she just talked about how she said that the men I spoke about in my life were men that I dated, that I was involved with, who were conscious and willing and aware. So that's part of what she had to say. So what I want to do is just share my thoughts about this whole situation. But before I do, I want to look at your comments. Shout out to Bonafide 1970. Shout out to SCG. So I'm going to talk about, SCG mentioned that Bill Cosby was in jail for doing the same thing. And that brings me to the first point that I want to raise. A lot of people are drawing comparisons between her and Bill Cosby, between her and R. Kelly. As I said before, they're using the hashtag surviving Cardi B. First of all, these are two completely different situations. There's a difference between rape and robbery. Both of them are bad things in and of themselves. So there's a huge difference between robbing somebody, stealing from somebody, and raping somebody. So these are two different types of crimes, so that comparison is off in that sense. Another thing is this, R. Kelly and Bill Cosby exploited their fame in order to sexually abuse women. And in R. Kelly's case, that included underage girls as well. So, it had a situation where power and fame were at play in the situations involving R. Kelly and Bill Cosby. So that's one thing. And then also you have to look at the situation that Cardi B was in. It's a completely different situation. Here she was in a situation where she was basically in an exploitive type of situation, where she was basically being exploited for her body as a stripper and basically put into a situation where she's actually engaging in prostitution. So these people that were alleged victims and stuff like that, at least according to, like the statements that she's made, they are not some innocent people. These are people that are participating in prostitution or whatever, from what I understand. It's like a prostitution type of situation, a situation where these are not people that are coming to the situation with clean hands and stuff like that. Now, So those are the distinctions between the two. So I think that there are huge differences between what Cardi B did and what Bill Cosby and R. Kelly did. So that's one thing. But I think that obviously what she did was wrong. Obviously, people should be held accountable for any criminal activity that they commit. Now, I don't know if the statute of limitations has passed for these alleged acts. If it hasn't passed, then I think that people are within their rights to pursue charges against her if, their rights haven't been, haven't expired under the law. Some offenses have certain statutes of limitations. Now, if these are within the statute of limitations, then they have every right to pursue charges against her. But as I said before, I mean, these people were participating in criminal activity, so they're probably less likely to report the crime. So that's one thing that I had to point out. Another thing is this, I think that she made a valid point when she talked about hip hop artists and stuff like that. Talked about how they glorify participating in a criminal lifestyle. But you don't see people all rallying up and, saying that, well, this person, something needs to happen, or, start saying surviving this artist or that artist, when these other people talk about the criminal activity that they participate in. All day, every day, you got all these songs on the radio, all these songs being released where people are talking about, killing people. Literally singing about how they killed this one and killed that one. Literally singing about how they're selling drugs and poison to people and stuff like that. Glorifying criminal activity. So the same people that are, acting all self-righteous and trying to condemn Cardi B, and I believe that she should be condemned. I believe that she should be condemned, but I just see hypocrisy. The same people that are condemning her are the same people that will sing songs like Annie Up, a song about these guys going around robbing people. These are the same people that will sing a song by 50 Cent's How to Rob or whatever, where he's talking about robbing all these hip-hop artists. So I think that there's a level of hypocrisy. I think there's a level of fake outrage. So, I have to call that out, man. I just have to call that out. But I will be clear, obviously, I'm not saying that she should be, given a pass or anything like that. I think that all people who engage in criminal activity should be held accountable. So don't come here saying, well, I'm giving her a pass and all this and that. Another thing that I just want to touch on real quick is like people trying to pimp this and make it into some racial issue and stuff like that. I cannot stand when people try to racialize something that's not even racial at all. Like some people are saying, well, you got this Latino using the N-word. I mean, this woman is an Afro-Latino. She has African heritage in her bloodline. She is she's an Afro-Latino. So for somebody to suggest that you have some non-black person, using the N-word in a racist kind of way, I think that that's ridiculous, and I think it's reaching and stretching and stuff like that to create some controversy. Another thing that I want to touch on real quick is I saw a video with a title that said non-ADOS Cardi B did X, Y, and Z. Here you have another situation where people are just trying to ride that ADOS bandwagon until the wheels fall off, man. They see that that's a hot topic, so they're going to bring that into any and every topic, even if it's irrelevant. Even if it's completely irrelevant, somebody's immigrant status has nothing to do with their criminal activity. That's like somebody's, saying, using the term black when somebody black commits a crime, as if their blackness is equated with criminality. So I just find that to be, an example of race pimping, race hustling, bringing in something that doesn't even matter. This whole ADOS stuff, man. And it's not surprising, man. People always exploit race. But let me be perfectly clear before somebody come over here and gets it all misconstrued. Obviously, I think this woman should be held accountable. I think that what she did obviously was wrong, and I think that people should rightfully condemn it and call her to the carpet on it. But let's not pretend that this is some R. Kelly situation or some Bill Cosby situation. So yeah, that's what I have to say. So let me see what folks are saying. I gotta get okay. Shout out to Elaine Lloyd. Yeah, so CB said no woman should get away with what Cardi B did. Obviously, I agree with that. No woman should get away with what she did. Yeah, I don't think that she raped them. That's not what she said. She robbed them. She drugged them and robbed them. It's still wrong. You know, it's still wrong. And she should be held accountable for it without a doubt. And I'm not making any excuses for her. Like I don't know why you're saying that, Elaine. I'm not making any excuses for her. I'm just saying that this is a different situation from R. Kelly and Bill Cosby. And I just think that it's wrong to pretend like it is the same situation. As I said before, she should be held accountable for this, and her actions should be condemned. But let's not pretend like, it's the same thing. Now, somebody said that Cardi B doesn't identify as black. From what I keep hearing mixed reports on that. Like some people are saying that from what I remember, like she did something where she acknowledged her black heritage or whatever. So, I don't know how credible that is. If y'all have contrary evidence, please post it in the either the chat room or the comment section so that I can read that and look up on that. Oh, somebody said she called black women roaches. I need to do more research on that. Like I'm not aware of that. I'm not aware of her calling black women roaches. Are you talking about like she said that's referring to all black women or just speaking about some people she disagrees with or has issues with or something? Yeah, it is a big deal, no doubt. That is drugging people and robbing them is a big deal, and it should be punished and stuff like that, without a doubt. So somebody said she called a deceased black baby a monkey. Where are y'all getting this information from? So if you can post links in the comment section, because I'm sure that some of y'all probably heard some YouTube videos or whatever, post some links in the comment section. I would be interested in hearing that. So somebody said on her Instagram. Yeah, so I need to get that information. So if y'all have information about her disowning being black or, claiming she's not black or, making these quote unquote derogatory statements about African Americans, I would like to see those. I would be interested in seeing that. But anyway, those are my quick thoughts about this Cardi B situation. Tell me what you think. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. And I know I'm going to have some haters over here. Man, that seems to be the trend lately. But anyway, rate, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you'll know when I post new content over here. Peace.